Wyoming basketball on the Mountain West Network is presented by Premier Bone and Joint Centers. From a chilly outside to a hot inside, the highest court in men's Division I college basketball is the Arena Auditorium in Laramie, Wyoming. And that's where we've got a first-place showdown in the Mountain West Conference for men's basketball between the Boise State Broncos and the Wyoming Cowboys. These teams met 9 days ago with the Broncos winning by 3 at home. They've won 14 in a row, second longest streak in the country, and lead the Mountain West. They haven't lost since November 30th. The Cowboys have bounced back with 2 straight wins over rivals Air Force and Colorado State in dramatic fashion. David Settle alongside Brian Burton. And Brian, this matchup really speaks for itself.
Yes, it does. Not only 2 of the best teams in the Mountain West, but also 2 of the best teams in the country. This will be a championship-level game played here tonight.
Now to the third member of our crew, Bridget Howard. Bridget, these 2 teams are highly familiar with each other.
That's right, David. They are very familiar with each other. They met just 9 days ago at Extra Mile Arena in Boise. Boise State head coach Leon Rice said it was another great Mountain West game that came down to the last few possessions, and it's going to be another battle tonight. Wyoming head coach Jeff Linder said both teams obviously know each other very well, so it comes down to, can you do what you do best better than what they do best? He told me, for us, that's minimizing our number of turnovers and making sure we limit them to 1 shot.
Now for our players to watch tonight, we began for Boise State with senior Abu Kijab, who played a pivotal role, Brian, in their win 9 days ago at home.
Yes, he did. 18 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds. He did it outside, he did it inside, he did it in all facets of the game for the Broncos. Did on the defensive end as well, making all the clutch plays down the stretch. He was the closer and was the best player on the floor for the Broncos.
As for the Cowboys, we look at Hunter Maldonado coming off back-to-back 30-point games.
Playing at an MVP level right now, averaging 33 points and 5.5 assists in the last 2 games. He is second in the Mountain West in scoring. He leads the Mountain West in assists. He's had career highs in both this season. He will need to have another performance here tonight for the Pokes to win.
So here we go. First place on the line once again in the Mountain West Conference for men's basketball. It's the Boise State Broncos. It's the Wyoming Cowboys. And we got a great matchup coming up. It's part 2 from Laramie, Wyoming and the Arena Auditorium on the Mountain West Network.
Wyoming basketball on the Mountain West Network is presented by Laramie GM Auto Center, Adidas, Cheyenne Regional Medical Center, and Pepsi.
Welcome back inside the Arena Auditorium before tonight's matchup between the Broncos and the Cowboys. Here's tonight's starting lineups presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Wyoming. First up for the Boise State Broncos, the usual starting 5, Shaver, Acott, Degenhart, Kijab, and Armush. And for the Cowboys, lately their normal starting 5, Jeffries, Wenzel, Maldonado, Oden, and EK. Head coaches for these 2 programs know each other very well because Jeff Linder used to work for Leon Rice. Leon Rice is in his 12th year as the head coach of the Boise State Broncos. You see him there in the huddle for Boise State. And for the Wyoming Cowboys, it's Jeff Linder in the middle of the pile for the Wyoming Cowboys in his 2nd season leading the brown and gold here in Laramie. Brian, you ready for this one, man?
Ready. Definitely ready. These are the games that you live for. So excited for it. Championship level game in the Mountain West tonight.
Oh, this should be a great one, folks. Glad to have you along. David Settle, Brian Burton here from the AA in Laramie. Cowboys in the home whites, trimmed in brown and gold. Road orange, trimmed in blue and white for the Broncos of Boise State. 9 days ago, came down to the wire. Kijab made all the big plays down the stretch for the Broncos. Cowboys fought their way back in it. And we'll see what happens here for part 2 tonight. Armush and EK in the jump circle as we get ready in Laramie. So we've got the whistle for play. And Armush wins it, but Oden kind of steals it for the Cowboys who get the first crack at it. Working zone to our right. Maldonado, he handles everything for the Cowboys. All the offense runs through him. Now they find Jeffries down the wing to Wenzel, trying to get EK involved early. Hit a big first half in the first meeting, Brian, and then not so much down the stretch, but the Cowboys are trying to battle back behind some perimeter shooting and got it done, actually.
Yeah, and Boise is one of the best defensive 3-point percentage teams.
And EK right on target there with the turnaround jumper. He
Right
couldn't quite get that going last week, or I should say on Monday night against CSU. He still had a great second half, though.
I think he heard you. I think he's trying to tell you something.
Boise State delivered. It's all about possessions and turnovers in this game. Here's Kijab. He's been a nightmare matchup for the Cowboys over the last 2 seasons. Turn around, one hand, left it. Strong to the left. And cleared by the Cowboys. Maldonado up the bottom of your screen, stops and looks back at Coach Linder. They're going to run a set here.
Yeah, we talked about both number 24s in the opening Star Watch. You'll see both players do a lot of dribble down offensively to get themselves in post position as a guard. So look at that all night long.
Jeffries a little strong, and Aycott gobbles up the rebound. You mentioned they're so good getting out on three-point shooters. As Kijab drives baseline, almost had it knocked away. Now finds Aycott. Cut off on his drive back to Degenhart. Numerous times the Mount West Freshman of the Week. Kijab, 3 in the corner. Too strong. And Ike with the box out on Armush. And Jeffries got the board. And that's one thing Jeffries has done. It's not been his three-point shooting, just that, because he's known for that. But his defense and rebounding have really been key for the Cowboys here, especially in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, he's an elite-level athlete. Coach Leonard talked about that. And he's really helped him out on the glass with his ability to sky above the rim and get some of those rebounds in traffic.
Ike a little short. Here's a little pocket pass to Armush. Powers it up too strong. Wins it with a weak side board.
One thing that kind of goes underrated with these two teams, because both coaches are such good offensive coaches, people almost discredit how good they are defensively and on the glass and how physical and tough they are.
Maldo too strong with the reverse. Got Kijab kind of going back and forth, the old dream move there from the 90s, and just a little too strong with the reverse with the left.
Yeah, I talked to him before the game. He talked about he was going to have to do a little bit more facing up and showing more of his Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett package, if you will.
Almost knocked away by Jeffrey. Shaver picks it up down the lane, scoop it up, and it rolls off, tipped out. Armush back to Shaver. Shaver's hit so many clutch shots this year, and he scoops that one up and in. Kind of cleared out there by Armush and got the easy deuce, and we're tied early on. It's kind of, I know they just played 9 days ago. It almost feels, Brian, like a little feeling out process here, because they know each other and they know what they're going to run.
Yeah, just so familiar. I mean, both coaches have talked about it. It's really not about what they're running. It's just about them being able to make the adjustments.
Oden hit a couple big shots just like that on Monday in the overtime.
He's got the grin from ear to ear. He's like, the bank is open. The bank is open on a Thursday night.
Boise State coming out 1 of 5. Cowboys 2 of 5. Here's Aycott, pull up from 3, left wing, too strong, and Jeffries collects the weak side rebound. Maldonado hesitates, blows by Kijab, and a quick lefty before Armush could get there for the block.
Such a good play right there. Their best two players offensively on one side of the floor, on a clear side. He refuses the ball screen, able to get the scoop finish at the rim.
Shaver has it, picked up by Jeffries. This was a matchup last time in Boise, and Jeffries did a good job. Here's Armush down the lane, put it up and in, and a foul. Got kind of that reach across by Ike and all the three-point opportunity when we get back. And so the bucket's good. Oden with the early 3 for the Cowboys, banked it in, and they've got a 3-point lead coming back. We're back at the Arena Auditorium. Cowboys with an early lead. Let's look at tonight's Toyota game plan, driven by Toyota. Brian, what do we got?
Yeah, for Boise, hitting free throw is going to be a big key. They did that in Boise, Idaho for the home game. Will they be able to do that on the road? They're only a around 60% free throw shooting team. Wyoming, can they ride the momentum? They won 2 in a row. Huge game Monday night against Colorado State. The top 25 opponent was able to win that one in overtime. And then lastly, the rebounding battle. Coach Linder worked for Coach Rice. He knows the secret sauce, Coach Rice told me. So rebounding is a huge key. They were able to beat them by 3 on the glass. Not many teams have been able to do that with Boise. Let's see who wins the rebounding battle tonight.
Again, that's tonight's game plan, driven by Toyota, and it was Wenzel who got the reach in, not Ike. So the foul charge to Wenzel, his first. Armush trying to complete the 3-point play, and he does. Speaking of free throws, you get your first point there. A couple subs. Yeah, Wyoming, they shot 72% at home and just 60 to 61% overall in the season. That's where they have struggled the most.
Yep, absolutely. And that's going to be a big key tonight, being that they're not a huge 3-point shooting team either. So in the paint and getting to the free throw line is a big key for the Broncos.
The 3 main subs are in for the Broncos here as Ike gets double teamed. Maldo for 3. That's going to be off. And Ike collects the rebound, kind of right place, right time. trying to take the charge, but to no avail was Milner, who subbed in for Armish, and Ike flushes it home.
Yeah, that's a huge key and a huge thing that they've talked about, their ability to take charges, the Broncos. And obviously Ike fouled out of the game Monday in overtime. Broncos were also able to foul out Orlando Robinson, a really good player for Fresno State, in their overtime win. So taking charges will be a key. Great job on the no call by the refs on that one.
Broncos are probably the more rested team, actually, despite having to travel. They haven't played since last Friday. That was the Fresno State overtime win as Maldo backs down Max Rice, the coach's son, spins baseline, put it up and in.
Man, so good, so good. So good at that. It's almost hard to guard. You have to almost come to double. He's such a great passer, leads the league in assists. He reminds you of some old school Gary Payton right there, a guard that can dribble you down and score in the post.
Milner finds Max Rice. Shaver with Jeffries in his hip pocket. Najee Smith is checked in as well. Now back to Shaver. Shaver got hurt in the first meeting. Rolled his ankle in the first half, played in the second half, misses. Right there, Milner put it back up and in. Ike challenged, and that opened the door for second chance opportunity. Yeah, always hard for a big man when he comes up to help and try to get a block shot. Need that guard to kind of crack down the other big. They were able to get a offensive rebound, which we talked about rebound being a big key in the game tonight. Both these teams with a couple second chance points in the last few possessions as Maldo backs down Smith, spins away from him. Wide layup that just slides in. So good. I mean, we talked about it in the opening, averaging 33 points a game in the last 2 games and 5.5 assists. Most of his damage is done just like that. Well, he went for 31 last Friday, got the game winner at Air Force, followed up with 35 in the overtime win Monday night against Colorado State. And we're going to need an offensive foul. That is a tough call on Acott because I did not see that push off there, but our official did. Here's that turnaround. Milner was looking for the charge as Coach Rice all over one of our officials, but Ike with a great finish. Almost surprised they didn't call a flop on that one with the finish. And then I don't even know if Maldo meant to fall down on that. It looked like he kind of fell. He wanted the charge, but lost some footing, but got the benefit of the doubt and got the call. Huge foul on Acott. He fouled out in the first meeting in Idaho. Maldo cut off by Shaver, trying to back down the smaller guard. Coach Rice is still giving it to him. Sorry. He's still giving it to the referees right now. Not happy about that call. Layup. Man, he just makes it look so easy. He puts on a clinic. I talked to Big Ike before the game. He said his favorite player in college basketball is Maldonado because he learned so much from him and how he plays in the post. Coach Rice wants a timeout, so he'll get it. He is not happy with the official who made the charge call, and he's gotten a couple of warnings. That's got the Cowboy fans on their feet as an early lead for the Pokes, 15-7. This is kind of the way the Boise State game went, and then Wyoming worked their way back. Cowboys had a little bit of a lead. Boise State works their way back. And you know, I want to talk about Hunter Maldonado. Off to a great start tonight. 8 points, a rebound, already 3 assists in this ball game. And you know, what can we say? We spotlighted him in the open, Brian. He's just playing at that elite level, as you like to say. Yeah, and he really isn't quite getting the conversation recognition locally or nationally as being playing at an MVP level. Here you see some of the replay of what he's already done. The drive, refusal of the screen, lays it up with the left hand, posting up, gets kind of the over-the-shoulder right-hand hook, and then here he spins off, able to get the easy lay-in. Same move, almost an instant replay there. I mean, he just makes it look easy, and he's so tough because you can't guard him one-on-one because he's so good at his feel. And if you put a double on him, he's so good at finding the open shooters. Milner kicks out. Degenhart, corner 3, got it. And that's a big shot for the Broncos. The freshman has been so clutch all season long. Yeah, huge shot. Speaking of threes, huge shot out of the timeout. Much needed for the Broncos, and he has won Freshman of the Week 5 times already in the Mountain West. Really good player since he's been inserted to the lineup. He's been really good for the Broncos. Ike hesitates, left it short. Oden can't get there as Milner outworks him for the board, and Rice wants to get in the forecourt, hands back Degenhart, can't get the 3 away, drives in, cut off. Back to Shaver, bottom of your screen. He'll drive on Jeffries. Fade away from 14, too strong, and Maldonado clears the glass. Look at the gang rebound. You saw 3 or 4 white jerseys going for that at the same time. Rebounding, you can definitely tell it's a big key. Ike wants to take Milner, you can tell. Fade away in the baseline, got it. So tough. We haven't even mentioned this yet, that the highest scoring duo in the country is featured by these two.
Maldonado and Graham Ike. You can see why right there.
Milner looking for Degenhardt on Oden here. A couple of young guys are going to get to know each other very well in the next couple of seasons. Degenhardt trying to post up, backs his way down, spins. Too strong, we got fouled from behind. And there's a reason why he got fouled from behind. A little kind of push in the back and then over the top. So, Cowboys with a 7-point lead here thanks to Maldonado and Ike as we got this rematch for first place in the Mountain West Conference for men's basketball. Welcome back inside the Arena Auditorium. The Cowboys lead by 7, and that includes 10 points in the paint already early on. And it's been the dynamic duo, Brian, and you just talked about the fact that they are the highest scoring duo in the country. I believe you put it together, it's just over 39 points per game.
Yeah, both of them averaging right at about 20 points a game, putting you right at 39. Like you said, highest scoring duo in the country. We can think about all these championship teams we've watched back in the day, whether it's in the NBA or whatever level, Kobe and Shaq. You got Jordan and Pippen, you got the Splash Brothers. Well, here in Wyoming, you got the Polk Brothers. They are getting it done inside, both Maldonado and Ike.
Ike's getting a rest as Degenhardt knocks down the free throw. So far, so good for the Broncos at the line tonight, as they are now 2 of 2. A rare appearance here as Kuzmanovic is checked in. Degenhardt's second one is good. Coach Rice going a little deeper in his bench tonight than we're used to seeing. And they'll throw on some full court pressure here.
Yeah, I think that's the fun part about watching. They just played 9 days ago. What are going to be the little wrinkles? What's going to be the changes? What's going to be the adjustments that are made to be the difference for the
Thompson
win?
And Ducell in for the Cowboys as Model gets posted up and double teamed. Gets it back from Ducell, gets the screen from Jeffries. He'll pop the three occasionally. That one's too strong, and Armish gobbles up the weak side board.
Yeah, you see Wyoming sometimes set a ball screen, guard to guard ball screen, where Jeffries, the shooter, sets a screen, so causes some confusion. Possibly can get the shooter open. If not, they get some confusion where Maldo gets to drive and get back to the paint.
Kuzmanovic almost traveled, but I think he kept the pivot foot, and then that one's tracked down by no one, and Kijap poked it away from Jeffries. I thought he kept that foot on the floor there, but as it was, yep, that's going to be Kijap knocking that one out of bounds there. Are they going to go to a replay? Coach Rice is asking for a replay review. We got Winston Stith and one of our other game officials over here is Coach Rice is.
You think this game means something to both teams? I mean, you see the urgency on the loose ball. It gets knocked out of bounds, and both coaches are having intense conversations with referees on the regular, along with their players, because the urgency, again, we talked about it being a championship level game. You can see it and feel it here in the building tonight.
Jeff Linder was wondering what's going on, and then he turns from that question to the officials to chewing out one of his players for not boxing out.
Now they're getting the crowd revved up a little bit, which you always love to see. Big time crowd, almost record crowd here. Biggest crowd last Monday since 10 years, right?
Bridget, what do you got for us?
This crowd in here, you guys can hear it. It is insane. And when I talked with Graham Ike earlier this week, he said the energy was something I had never felt before. It's almost like a 10-plus point advantage with how loud and disruptive it is. And this Boise State team knew coming into tonight that this was going to be a hostile environment. Tyson Degenhardt told me it's definitely a hostile environment for us, but we're ready for it. The away games are definitely fun, and we're embracing it. And boy, guys, are we seeing this crowd here in Wyoming tonight? Yeah,
they're kind of riled up by how hot Leon Rice has been here lately, because they're asking for the tee, Brian. What's interesting, Boise State, they played in some hostile environments, some of the toughest ones in the conference already. They're 6-1 on the road, Brian.
No doubt, and Coach Rice actually talked about it, that this league, hold on, let's check this replay.
So did Jeffrey, oh, that's off Kijap. I mean, I don't know how they're taking so long, because that's easily off Kijap.
Yep. And they called it off a key jab, so normally when they're going to review it, it has to be indisputable evidence in order to overturn it.
Right.
But Coach Rice, going back to the road crowds, he talked about this league has the best home venues in the West Coast. Bigger than anyone else, better than anyone else as far as home crowds. And that's his opinion, but I don't know if I can argue with him having coached in this league myself.
And I tell you, you think about this, San Diego State, Utah State,
New Mexico. Colorado State down the road.
Wyoming's coming back a little bit here.
Yep, absolutely.
Boise State. What's interesting, you know, Bridget talked about a hostile environment. These two teams were supposed to play on New Year's Day, but it was a COVID pause that prevented it, and so Boise State wouldn't have had a crowd this size.
No doubt.
No students were here.
Made a difference in that 3-point win up in Boise.
Key jab trying to work on Maldonado, and that's going to be a little hand check push there by Maldonado, Thompson. Hunter Thompson gets charged with that foul. You see the big Pine Bluff, Wyoming. It's like a Mohawk mullet.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what that is. I don't know where my neighborhood. I don't know if you can go to see that on the chart and say I want that. I don't know if that picture's on there. I don't know if that's a Wyoming thing or not. No offense to Wyomingians.
All right, so Kuzmanovic will find Rice. Jeffries in his hip pocket, knowing the shooter. Rice goes right at him, blocked by Jeffries, and it's off of whom? Off Jeffries. Now Wyoming wants a little bit of a replay. And I'll tell you what, this one, that's going to be off Armish's arm if you want a replay on this one. They're going to keep it with the Broncos, though.
You're not sure if they're going to go back to the replay.
Nope. We're already underway. Rice trying to find Armish. Now Kuzmanovic, pull up, mid-range game, too strong. Key jab, weak side board. Key jab powered up and in, and a foul. I think they're going to get Ducell underneath on the weak reach here.
Well, we talked about it early on in the game plan. Rebounding was going to be a huge key. This is a grown man rebound in traffic and picks up the little tic-tac foul. You know Coach Linder is not happy about that. It's the second time they've given up an N1. It's kind of been a ticky-tack reach-in foul, and that's one big thing they emphasize in his defense is not fouling, limiting fouls, keeping other teams off the line. Have not been able to do so far tonight.
And the good free throw shooting continues as Key jab knocks it down, makes this a 2-point game. Trying to keep the ball out of Maldonado's hands. Everything runs through him. It's interesting because, you know, you've got the pupil against the teacher here with Coach Linder being on Coach Rice's staff as EK spins, too strong, weak side board, Key jab. One of his mentors was Leon Rice. Cross court gets to Kuzmanovic here, bottom of your screen.
Yeah, Coach Rice talked about Coach Linder and Coach V, Sean V, have Coach Vandiver have some of the secret sauce because they both worked on staff together. He said, unfortunately, they're going to play against them, and they have some of our secret sauce, but some of that secret sauce is the rebounding. That's a huge key. Coach Rice talked about they had a game when he was at Gonzaga as an assistant.
And an offensive foul on EK. Degenhardt stands in to take the charge. Linder this time, his turn to be upset. EK picks up just his first personal foul. That's key. He picked up his fourth in the second half on Monday night. That was big, and then fouled out in the overtime. And then the next possession down the floor, David Roddy of Colorado State, their big player, fouled out. And so it was kind of a trade-off there.
Been a theme in the Mountain West here the last few games, but big-time job by the defender on the opposite end to be able to step over and take the charge. And speaking of charge, what do we have here? We got another one.
EK stands in and takes it on Armish. Armish didn't play a lot in the second half in the matchup 9 days ago, and it actually worked out. He goes right into EK.
Impressive job, big fella. Normally you see the big fella blocking shots, getting stuff above the rim. That time sacrifices his body, takes it over the chest, and gets the offensive foul. You think this game is physical, by the way?
Didn't expect anything less. Jeffries can't get it away. Maldo pump faking the three. Lobs to EK. Trying to get it against Milner. Spins on him. Powered up and in. Milner's just not quite from a physical standpoint. He's a big guy, big defender, just not physical enough to go against EK.
There's not many people in college basketball that are physical enough to go against EK. He is #1 in fouls drawn and also usage per Ken Palm stats. So he's a huge threat on the inside and not somebody that's easy to deal with on the defensive end.
Key jab trying to do his best Maldo impersonation and capitalizes.
Yeah, we talked about both guards. Well, both number 24s were in the Star Watch. Both number 24s love the dribble down. ISO kind of back to the basket, posting as a guard.
Key jab got that big hook as there's a lob. Good control by EK trying to power it up. Block. Good job this time by Milner. Pops free to Kuzmanovic. Top of your screen. backing off, and they'll run some offense here.
Yeah, good help side defense that time by Boise State. Good on-ball defense that time by Xavier Giselle as he lets out a big cheer in front of his bench, gives a couple high fives for getting the turnover.
Kuzmanovic was already coming out anyways as Shaver's back in, and Acott will give Kijab a rest. Kijab, 5 points, 3 rebounds so far. Bridget, what do you got for us here? What's going on right now?
We see Xavier Ducell making a big-time play there, and Jeff Linder told me earlier this week that this team is so excited to have Ducell back because they really needed him and his stability and his ability to go make a play last time out versus Boise. He's probably not 100%, but we did do some 5-on-5 in practice to get him back into his rhythm, and boy, did we see right there him going out and making a big-time play.
Got it at the top of your screen. Can't get the shot away. Now crosses over. Fade away from 15. Too strong and wide left.
Yeah.
Rice.
Coach Leonard talked about Ducell. I mean, he's a starter for them, so having the luxury of having a starter coming off the bench gives you more firepower.
And Max Rice off the bench knocks one home, and we're tied at 19. It's the second tie in this game since it was early on, and there's EK going up, going to be smacked across the arm by Rice, which will take us to a timeout. And so the Cowboys and Broncos, did you expect anything less than a great battle? We've got it tonight. Tie ball game here inside the Arena Auditorium, better known as the Dome of Doom, and it was just that on Monday night, Bridget. What an atmosphere, biggest crowd in 6 years, over 7,500 fans in attendance in a whiteout. And boy, we've got another large one tonight here, Bridget.
Yeah, we absolutely have a big crowd here tonight. Boise State head coach Leon Rice watched the Colorado State matchup on Monday and said simply, the Mountain West has the best atmospheres on the West Coast. This kind of atmosphere is what competitors like to be in. Jeff Linder told me earlier this week that the environment makes it a really special place and hard place to play at, and we're seeing that tonight.
Absolutely. Here's EK out of the timeout at the free throw line as you see Coach Linder talking things over with Hunter Maldonado. EK, better shooting free throw shooter as a big man than you might expect, and a lot of it kind of watching him the last couple of years, and obviously he didn't play the first half of last year. It wasn't until kind of mid to late January. He didn't play in the 2 games against Boise State here in Laramie last year. If he pushes it out, he'll miss. He's got to get up and kind of more arc on that shot from the line as you see him push one to the front of the rim.
He's getting lots of reps because he is #1 in the country again at free throws drawn, which means he gets fouled more than anyone else in the country.
Shaver being guarded by Noah Reynolds, who was checked in recently for the Cowboys. There's Acott. It's just a key jab. He'll put it on the floor, but before he did, shuffles the feet. And EK just decides to go up and block it at the rim, just for good measure, so that Kijab doesn't see the shot go in.
No doubt.
All that gamesmanship.
It's all about gamesmanship. All about it. He told me he was tapping into his inner Kevin Garnett. That's something Kevin Garnett used to do as well. We're not letting you see that ball go in.
Maldo back to EK against Milner. Hands off. A little 2-man game. That's a tough 2-man game to guard. Now Maldo on Milner. A little hesitation. Kicks out. Deflected, but Reynolds gets to it. The freshman driving down the lane. Kicks out. Oden fakes the 3. Up the wing, Maldo. Now to Jeffries. That's the guy you want to shoot from deep. Spins it out, though, and Milner just boxing out EK.
The crowd was ready to erupt on that. Great ball movement, great extra pass, great one more, as coaches love to call it. That good shot to great shot. They got exactly the shot they wanted, just couldn't quite go down.
Jeffries hit some big clutch shots on Monday, and he had the dagger 3 against the Rams in overtime that put Wyoming up by 5 as Kijab airballs one from the bottom of your screen, and the crowd lets him know it.
2 high-level defensive teams. I mean, the Broncos don't even like to shoot threes. They're taking shots that are a little uncharacteristic of themselves because they really can't get anything else going offensively.
1 of 6 for Boise State, 1 of 5 for Wyoming from deep so far, so neither team really getting it going from the arc. Acott trying to post up Jeffries, just using his muscle, and that's going to be a kick ball. I was going to say, I thought I saw somebody stick the foot out there. Kick saving a beauty, and it was saving maybe a bucket on the baseline for the Broncos. Armish will replace Milner. Again, Coach Rice going a little deeper in his bench. I think rotating some guys through because trying to keep his guys fresh for the second half in a big battle. They know it's going to come down to the wire.
Yeah, you talked about it in the opening. This is the highest elevation place in the country, and they actually do a tradition at Boise State where they take beet juice before they get on the road trip in order to give them a better advantage to be able to handle the stamina. So I don't know if the beet juice is working or not yet, but that is a tradition that the coaches and the players do before the game.
And Boise State on the key jab drop-off, a little teardrop in the paint as Maldonado tried to draw the charge. No whistle, and the Broncos in front for the first time tonight. Beautiful move of being patient. EK trying to use his quickness against Armish, had it knocked away, gets it in the corner, bottom of your screen, backing him down. Looking to go middle, now spins baseline, little right hand, sneaks it in, and the Cowboys right back in front.
Nice job again by the big fella. I know I've mentioned him talking about some strategy he was going to do to avoid charges was to face up before he just backs down and bangs again, so then they can't time when they're going to try to take the charge or flop, if you will.
Shaver looking for something, can't get away from Reynolds, now gets the big screen. Key jab will shoot the corner three, no good. Tipped around and Oden secures it. Jeffries kind of saved that one away from Armish. Maldonado, top of your screen to Ike, top of the key. Gets a screen from Jeffries, wants to hand off, but he'll just take it himself. Now they'll double him, work it around. They get out on the shooter quickly, and they go right back to the two-man game. Lob, catch, too strong. Airballed it from 6. Degenhart all alone, weak side.
Looked like they wanted a little bit of contact. Ike put his hands up like, did you not see that?
Aycott trying to back Jeffries down again. Spins baseline, put it up, and it rolls off. Good move. Just didn't get the roll. A little strong off the glass with the kiss.
Yeah, just a tough physical game. Again, Coach Linder talked about limiting them to one shot, winning the glass, not letting them get second chances, and they are all over the glass tonight.
Maldo off the high screen, hesitates, back to Ike. He'll shoot that. Almost put it up. Oden wanted to shoot it. Now he'll drive, and a blocking foul as Degenhart can't get to his spot. And that's going to bring us to our final media timeout. 22-21, a great back-and-forth battle between two teams at the top of the Mountain West Conference. Back inside the Arena Auditorium, a great battle so far. Cowboys edging the Broncos by 1. Still 3.5 to play in the first half. And the Mountain West Conference has got some great national net rankings there, Brian. When you look at that. Six teams in the top 60. Wow.
Yep. 6 teams in the top 60, one of the best conferences by net ranking in the country, including Power 5. We're hoping that they can get more teams in the tournament because there's such good basketball played in this league.
And speaking of that, Joe Lunardi right now has 4 teams in the tournament, including Wyoming and Boise State.
Wyoming, Boise State, San Diego State, along with Colorado State. So those 4 teams out of the 6 teams make sense. And hopefully this bracketology, Joe Lunardi is really good. Hopefully this conference deserves to have at least 4 teams in. You can see right now tonight, and you can see it again Monday night.
Well, it's one of those where, what was it, 2013, I think the Mountain West sent 5 teams to the tournament.
Yep.
And so they're trying to rival that this year with 4, and, some teams are coming on. Vegas, Utah State all of a sudden have gotten hot. EK trying to drive, and a nice cut by Oden, but before that, we're going to get a push foul. Armish picks up his second. That's going to be key.
Yeah, talking to Coach Rice this morning, he actually talked about that. It feels like there's so much pressure on every single game in order to win, whether it's a big game, not a big game, because is the committee in the end going to respect the fact that your net ranking and your power ranking says what it is, or are they going to nitpick and find reasons not to get you in? And sometimes in the bigger conferences, they find reasons to get those teams in, according to, again, what Coach Rice said, and I couldn't agree with him more.
Well, it's one of those where, Cowboys were top 10 early in the season in the net because they were, at one time, they were one of only a handful of teams, I want to say 2 or 3, that had 3 true road wins early in the season. And they've dropped back, but still in the low 30s. That's not too bad, low to mid 30s. Here's EK, fake, block from behind, great defense again. It's a defensive-oriented game between these two, and you got great defense there on a great offensive player trying to make an individual move, and he almost finished, but great help side D, and it knocked off the Broncos. It'll stay with the Cowboys, just 9 on the shot clock.
Boise State is one of the best. They're number 6 last I checked at adjusted defensive efficiency per KenPom, which means they're one of the best defensive overall teams in the country.
So they're going to held ball. Milner reaching in on Ike, who kind of lost the handle, tried to split the ball down between his legs, and Milner just grabbed it, and they get the jump ball, and the arrow favors Boise State. So Shaver tried. There's the jump ball right there. That's what they called, was when he reached out in front of him, Milner grabbed it for a millisecond. As Kejab trying to post up Wenzel here.
You know, I always felt this from my time coaching, and I give Coach Rice a lot of credit. He's been on the refs so hard. Sometimes they just want to get him off his back for a second, and they give him a benefit of the doubt on a call like that one.
Rice with a quick three off the tip out by Kejab. And right back in front, the Broncos lead by 2.
Yeah, that's a big shot. Not a team that makes a ton of threes, but Rice is one of the guys that does it, and from long range, he shows off why he's called a sniper.
Down low, post up EK back to Maldo. Swing it to Wenzel. He'll fire the deep 3. That's banked in. Second bank 3 of the night for the Cowboys. And those are their only 2 makes, Brian.
The bank is open. I don't know if you can call somebody a sniper when they make a bank shot, but he may have called glass. We just couldn't hear him because it's so loud in here.
Wenzel pushing off on Kejab, trying to post high post area. And so with that, going to draw Wenzel's second foul here in the first half.
Yeah, Rice on the tip out again. Rebounding so crucial, because usually you get threes off of offensive rebounds. And here on the other end, the bank is still open. The San Antonio product calls glass under his breath. Nobody heard it.
Wenzel going to the bench with 2 fouls as Ducell checks back in here for Wyoming. Tweaked his hamstring on the last play of the big win at Utah State. Wyoming's first game back after the stoppage. And Ducell did not play in the meeting 9 days ago. He's been in the last 2 games. Kejab posting up, working against Maldo here, trying to overpower him, gets to a spot, fade away, rolls it in nicely, putting the Broncos back in front. We've been going back and forth here in the last little stretch. That's our 5th lead change of the game.
You can kind of see these two coaches. We talked about them being a part of the same tree, working together. These 2 teams are playing very similarly. A lot of guard post-ups, a lot of toughness, a lot of grit. 2 evenly matched teams. You can see why they're at the top of the standings in the Mount West.
Odin for 3, a little strong, but he got the shooter's roll. It pops straight up and drops it down through.
Gets the bounce, the shooter's bounce. First it's the glass for Odin, then it's the glass for Wenzel. Now you get the shooter's bounce, and this crowd is getting back electric and on their feet after that 3 goes down.
Najee Smith to Shaver. We haven't called Shaver's name a lot. Can't get the shot away. Back to Kejab, back to Shaver. Shaver gets a screen, watch for the pick and pop. There it is, but Rice fakes, gets the shot up and in and out. Boy, that was halfway down.
Ooh, that was impressive.
That was a good quick look too by the redshirt junior.
Quick trigger with deep range. I'll tell you one part that Jeffries doesn't get enough credit. He's almost got some Klay Thompson in him. He really sits down defensively, doing a great job on Shaver.
Pass across the top, picked off by Shaver, challenged and finishes right over the top of Maldonado to put the score dead even, and the Cowboys are going to use their use it or lose it 30-second timeout here to maybe take the last shot. 3.5-second difference right now between the game clock and the shot clock, but again, we're going back and forth. We've had 6 lead changes, and I want to say probably 4 of them in the last few trips down the floor, and then now we're tied for the 3rd time as Shaver read that pass to Jeffries right off the top. Here's this kind rim bounce straight down. I thought it was too strong, weak side, and then Shaver with a great anticipation to Jeffries. Watch this going up.
Got a little off arm there.
That's okay. What is it, Coach? If they don't call it, it's not a foul, right?
No doubt about it. No doubt. And he got it just low enough he could sneak that in. He kind of looked at the ref afterwards like, wasn't that an end run?
So 28 apiece. Wyoming will work more than likely for the last shot. There'll be a few seconds maybe for Boise State to do something. Armish on the bench has 2 for the Broncos. Wenzel on the bench has 2 personal fouls for the Cowboys. Nobody else in serious foul trouble. We've only had 11 fouls called despite the physical play as we wipe off some spots here on the floor.
Yeah, and before that still, I was kind of talking about that matchup. Jeffries and Shaver are going back and forth, both doing a great job defending each other. That last one was a great steal for easy layup on the other end, but Jeffries has also done a great job making it hard on him to be able to get points in the half court.
Ike to Maldo, dangerous pass. Akon will almost jump that one. Now Ike trying to go one-on-one, spins away, fade away, over Milner, too strong, and good box out by Smith. Gets it to Shaver with 10 seconds left in the half. They'll work for the last shot.
I think Leonard wanted to use a little more time on that one and not have a fadeaway, something a little more to the basket.
Akon, too strong. Maldo, length of the court is just short. And so we go to the break tied at 28 apiece. And I guess what more can you expect from these two in the first half?
Yeah, it was a 3-point differential. Last time they played, the adjustments have been made. There's definitely a hard-fought tooth and nail for every basket before we go over to Bridget with Coach Linder.
Yeah, 28 apiece. Bridget, what do you got for us?
Thank you, guys. Coach, Graham Ike already in double figures here in this first half. What have you liked from your offensive performance and his performance so far?
Early on, we did a good job in terms of getting paint touches. The last 8 minutes or so, we didn't get the ball in the paint as much, settled for too many non-paint twos.
You talked about rebounding earlier this week and limiting Boise to one shot. How do you feel your team has done here in this first half in doing that?
That's a good question. I haven't seen the exact stats, but I do know they got two that one led to a three and one led to an and one there. So can't give them those extra possessions. They're too good offensively.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bridget. Cowboys -3 on the glass in the first half. So, well, we've got a first-place showdown here in Laramie, and it's lived up to the hype in the first half. We'll see what these two teams have in store in the second half. It's the Broncos 28, the Cowboys 28 at halftime here in Laramie from the Arena Auditorium on the Mountain West Network. Welcome back inside the Arena Auditorium. The Cowboys and Broncos tied up at 28 at halftime. And, well, let's take a look at our first half highlights and stats presented by your Rocky Mountain Ford dealers. And, well, the highlights pretty much speak for themselves. These two teams going toe-to-toe here, Brian. You get the kick out, Odin with the bank three, one of two bank threes for the Cowboys in the first half. Here's a nice little kick out and then work it around the arc to Wenzel. Odin with the shooter's touch off the back of the rim there from the corner.
Yeah, almost a third of their points were from three. Here's Keyjet. We said start watch. Yep. He was one to watch, and you can see why here with the muscle and the rebound, kind of physicality and one. Didn't show in his post game. We have two guards kind of posting up back and forth. Was able to avoid the charge there, and then kind of gets a little bit of a push off, fade away, kind of Kobe Bryant-esque wearing the 24 on that one. And then the other 24, Maldonado, is another part of the start watch, also getting his work done.
Yeah, he got going. He got Wyoming off to a good start early on.
Really did, really did. And hasn't been able to quite get it going the same way as the half went on. But, man, he really showed off his versatility inside. And speaking of inside, the other part of the duo tried to take the charge, didn't get it. The big fella pull it up on the rim, getting a little flex. Then he shows his face-up game to avoid the charge and his soft touch around the rim. Past the other defender on the way back. Then he just kind of backs down, steps through. So much versatility, power, and physicality from the big man.
Well, these two teams separated by one field goal attempt. They're both shooting very similar. One more three for the Cowboys and Boise State, but that's not their strong suit. But the Broncos perfect at the free throw line. They're +3 on the glass. Assists and turnovers very low for both teams, and that's what both coaches talked about, Brian, was the fact this was going to be a possession game. Yep. You got to limit the turnovers because there's not a lot of possessions in a slower paced game.
Yeah, both coaches have talked about both teams' ability to execute a game plan, to play smart basketball and limit mistakes. You can see not a lot of mistakes made. The second half will come down to who can execute a little bit more, who can give a little bit more, and who can get more stops.
All right, we'll come back with the second half shortly as the Cowboys and Broncos tied at 28 here on the Mountain West Network. It's been a heck of a first half between the Cowboys and the Broncos, and right now it's time to go inside the play, presented by our friends at Union Wireless, and we kind of go with a little inside-outside look here, and it results in a made three-pointer for the Cowboys, Brian.
Yeah, you see the double team here with both guys from Boise coming in to double, leaves the shooter open, or the guard open. Ike makes a good decision here. With the pass out, he, instead of taking it himself, he kicks it there to the shooter. and he's able to connect off the glass.
That's that one extra pass, basically, you love to see as a coach, don't you, Brian?
Yeah, it's kind of that good to great, and I think the other part is Maldonado knows he can make that three, but he also knows he has a high usage rate. He's going to have the ball in his hands a lot. So Wenzel was a little more open for him to get a look, so he wanted to get his young fella a shot. He kicks it to him. That's why he leads the league in assists. He knows when to pass and when to score.
Bridget's got some info from head coach Leon Rice with Boise State. What did the Broncos head man have to say,
Coming
Bridget?
into this half, head coach Leon Rice told his team at halftime, guys, we've weathered the storms. We knew this one was going to be a battle. We're going to have to weather a couple more storms here in the second half. Leon Rice told me earlier this week that it was going to be a battle. That's how Mountain West games have been all season long, and some of them have come down to the last possession like their last time out. So he said we just need to keep weathering the storms, and it's going to be a battle here in this second half.
Thank you very much, Bridget. 28 apiece. Quick adjustments here. What's either team got to do?
Yeah, I would say for Wyoming, a little more ball movement, a little more. I think there was one possession early on where Jeffries got a wide open look. He hasn't got many this half. They're not trying to let him get him, but a little more ball movement so it's not such a slow-paced game for Wyoming, even though that's how they play. Points allowed per game, we can see both teams are really good defensively. So points are going to be hard to come by. I think a little more pace, and then for the Broncos, continuing to double the big fella and make him kick it out and make other people beat you.
All right, Cowboy ball to start the second half as we switch into the floor. Trying to get the ball to EK, cut off though, and so they'll work it back out. Maldo with a tough angle bounce pass. EK with a good catch, but double teamed immediately. Pivots around and kicks out to Wenzel. Right back to EK, spins baseline. Quick move, reverse it up and in.
One thing about it, again, I've talked about it, mentioned it earlier, he's #1 in usage rate in the country. They're going to go to him and go to him and go to him again until you can't get, till you have to double him or you can't double him or you got to make a decision just like there.
Key jab wide open. Buckets.
He's been wanting that to drop. He's taken a few of those. So far, he was 0 for 3. Finally gets the fourth one to drop.
And the Broncos back in front. Unbelievable. Just the back and forth between two excellent teams in the Mountain West in men's basketball tonight. Jeffries to Oden. Back to Jeffries. They front EK this time. Now they'll go high post, and now finding creative ways to work it down. Kick out Jeffries wide open. Had this shot the other night. Misses this one, but Oden eats up the offense board. Wenzel corner three in the kick out. That's too strong, and Degenhart boxes out for the weak side rebound.
Great take. The best time you want to take threes, those open threes, is right after an offensive rebound. Great kick out, great look. Just didn't quite go down for the Pokes.
They had a couple of kick out looks. Key jab 2 in a row. Too strong, and Moldo battling. And Degenhart outworks him. So a second chance opportunity here. We had 6 lead changes, 3 ties in the first half. Already with a lead change here in the second half. And the Broncos up to +4 on the glass now after that offensive rebound. Degenhart gets free and buries it. And looks at his bench and says, hey, what do you know? I can knock this down.
Yeah, I think he threw a couple 3-point gang signs. Maybe that's what that is. I'm not for sure, but looked like the bench liked it. Great execution there by the Broncos, able to get a design play to get their best shooter an open look.
And we're going to get a hold away from the ball. Shaver grabbing Jeffries, trying to get free off a screen by EK. And you can see Degenhart.
A little bit of a misdirection, kind of had a elevator screen, maybe. No, just looked like a little down screen.
And I think Maldonado got tripped up by his own man, and that allowed Degenhart to get wide open, and you got to capitalize, and as a road team, that's what you want to do. Quickly back to Maldonado, trying to get it to EK, goes cross-court. Oden trying to drive, but cut off nicely, and a little inside-out dribble, spins. Fade away from 12. Good. He's worked on that, Brian.
He has. You know what? Coach DeWeese was actually just talking about that before in the pregame, how he's actually worked on his ability to shoot the ball, not just from 3, but making those little skill shots like that. High degree of difficulty. You have to be in the gym to be able to make that kind of shot.
Key jab off the screen, trying to go to work on Oden, overpower the youngster. Fade away from 12. Got it.
Oden with that last basket at 8 points. Wyoming is 10-0 when he scores 8-0 when he scores 10 or more.
He got to that mark the other night against CSU. Here's EK spinning baseline, powered up. No, but a foul. Armish can't believe it. And they're going to say a push with the off arm, and that's going to bring Milner right off Coach Rice's bench. And Ike going back the line. That, again, we've repeated ourselves numerous times, but the guy's #1 in the country in fouls drawn, and he gets himself to the line a lot. Tries to capitalize here.
So in football, they got a guy named Derrick Henry. So Jeff Linder actually mentioned it's like playing against him because he's just gonna keep giving it to him and giving it to him and giving it to him, and he's so physical and so skilled. That combination of physicality and skill you don't see very often. So he has both of those. So when he's able to draw those fouls with the physicality, they're going to keep feeding it to him. And again, on the other end, he doesn't get in foul trouble very often. So he's in the game for 35+ minutes a game. So you're going to have to figure out how to stop this big fella one way or the other, whether you like it or not.
Got the 2nd and 2. He's about a 70% free throw shooter and goes 1 of 2. So he's 2 of 4 from the stripe tonight. Milner hands off to Shaver, gets some help. Jeffries right there to Acott, now to Milner. Does he try and go right at Ike? He does. Turn around off glass and in, and a foul. Oh, that's some unexpected bench production from Lucas Milner. The senior went right at Ike, got to his spot, turned off glass, and they're going to get Ike coming down with that left arm right there for the and-one opportunity. And all of a sudden, the Broncos getting going here.
Yeah, getting some momentum on the road. That definitely was a foul. You got to give it to him. I just said he doesn't foul very often, but he picked up that
The
foul
Brown and Gold Outlet is the official apparel partner of University of Wyoming Athletics. Shop in-store or online at brownandgold.com. Free throw is no good, so still a 5-point game. Wenzel on the handoff, trying to get it to Jeffries in the corner. Maybe a little two-man game between the shooter and the post, and that's just a poor pass, and Milner right there to take it away, Brian.
Yeah, Boise's really just come out the half. The first 4 minutes, coaches talk about it all the time. You want to come out and really execute on both ends and set the tone for the second half. And so far, Boise's been the more efficient team setting the tone this half.
Degenhardt just backing Oden down with his power. Spins one way, missed it. Spins another way and missed it. Ike tips the rebound to himself. Ike almost carried the ball out of midcourt there.
2-point rebound advantage per Boise. 21-19 on the glass.
Here's Ike going right at Milner and draws that foul, and he'll go back to the line here. Coach Leon Rice was looking for a call at the other end on the same one. 38-33, Broncos have come out and outscored Wyoming 10-5 to begin. Boise State enjoying their biggest lead of the game by 5 here early in the second half from the Arena Auditorium in Laramie. The University of Wyoming College of Engineering and Applied Sciences, epically innovated since 1886. Visit us at uwio.edu/CEAS. Well, the Cowboys enjoying a 5-point lead right here, Brian, and they've done it by kind of attacking Wyoming inside.
Yeah, they really have, and that's really the strength of Boise's team and where they want to attack you. The stats have been really even. One thing we talked about early in the game plan was the free throws for Boise, and they've been able to convert. They're shooting 80%. Well, in the meanwhile, although Wyoming's only shot 4 attempts and all of them have been Ike, they're only 50% from the line. So every little possession, every little point matters in this game when it's going to be such a close ball game all the way down to the wire.
So we're coming back. Couple free throws here for Ike. (38-33), trying to cut into the 5-point lead. Again, the biggest of the night for the Broncos. Cowboys led by 8 in the first half at one point, as Ike slides that one in.
Yeah, another one of the players in the Mountain West who's not only one of the best scorers in the Mountain West, but one of the best rebounders in the Mountain West. That last possession where he was able to get fouled, he's a big man at the 5 position, able to kind of dribble his way in almost like a guard and show his versatility to draw fouls. Really difficult matchup. Such a talented young man for only his really only played for really a full year now, because last year he only played half of the year.
Here's Maldonado picking off one, avoids the official, goes to attack Degenhardt, flip it up and in, and a foul.
The hoop and a harm for the second leading scorer in the Mountain West Conference. Coming off his career high in points, he is getting going here, and the crowd loves it.
Into double figures. Finally, he had 8 early and then went quiet offensively, and the Cowboys went elsewhere. They went to EK. That's his first bucket since early in the first half.
And did it with his defense. It's hard to get points in the half court in a game like this when it's such a grind. Able to get in the passing lane, picks up the pick 6 in the and 1.
And a huge third foul on Degenhart, who's going to have to come out of this game for Najee Smith right here as Maldo knocks down the free throw. They combine that with EK's foul just before the break. So the Cowboys have scored the last 5 and have tied this game back up.
Yes, they have. And this is kind of what Coach Leonard talked about with that kind of Derrick Henry philosophy is you're going to have to guard them and defend them for the full 40 minutes. It's physical. They're going to get to the line and punish you. So eventually it's going to get into your bench and get into your depth because guys are going to pick up fouls.
Milner almost lost it. Fades away over EK, and it slides off, but Kijab with the putback.
Well, I tell you what, you mentioned it in the pregame off the air. Kijab played well against Wyoming in the past. He played well up in Boise, was the player of the game, and he has been by far their best player tonight, almost willing them to continue to have this lead or tie game here in Laramie.
16 points, 5 boards for Kijab as EK with a little soft. Ooh, that was silky smooth like some butter, Brian. Wow, that just came off nice and easy. 6-footer on the left baseline.
Yeah, no margin, butter only on that one.
Here's Shaver trying to get free. Fade away over Jeffries. Short, battle for the rebound, and it pops out to Maldonado. EK lands on the deck. Boy, the crowd has come to life in the last couple of trips down the floor for Boise State. They get a little quiet, but we expected this great atmosphere once again. Not quite the whiteout it was Monday night for the border war, but it is a great atmosphere here in Laramie. Smith trying to dig in against Maldonado, trying to knock it away. Maldo's had some turnover issues the last couple games. There's a hook in the paint, flips out. EK, strong rebound, put it up and in.
Ooh, it gives you the face like Shaquille O'Neal on the way back. I love it, big fella. Show him that you're Superman, too.
And this one knotted up at 40 is now a Wyoming lead, 42-40. So the Pokes on a 9-2 run. Hand off to Max Rice, trying to go, cut off by Maldonado. Now Kijab wants to take Wenzel, backs him down. Fade away from 15, just short. Thought he had it too. Got to his spot, Brian.
Yeah, he
just a touch short. I thought that was going down too.
Kijab, top 150 player coming out. Went to Oregon, transferred to Boise. You can see his talent and why he's such a good player here in the Mountain West.
Skip pass tip. They work it. Oden will fake the shot in the corner. Drive in. Bounce pass to EK. Back to him. Spins away from the double team. Baseline jumper is going to be short. And Smith with a good box out on Oden. Kijab, bottom of your screen, has it against Wenzel. Wants to go to work here. Gets to a spot, kicks out. Smith won't take it. Rice would, but Maldo out on him with a hand high. Comes off the screen, backs off. Now to Smith, he'll fire the 3, and that's airballed out of bounds. And again, the crowd going to let you know when you're on the visiting team's floor.
Yeah, the crowd is coming alive. They have the yellow or green, I don't know exactly what those things are.
They're balloons.
The balloons, the noodles, but yeah, they're having some fun and letting them have it, and crowds starting to really get in behind this Poke team to push them over the edge.
Ducell in, and a little breather for Wenzel here.
Coach Leonard talked about that being one of the reasons he was so attracted to coming to Wyoming. He felt like this place could be special because of its home crowd, having one of the best home win percentages in the country of any program because of their home court advantage.
Oden fakes the 3, down the lane, kicks out Maldo. Fakes, he'll try and drive on Kijab. Little pocket pass to EK, into a triple team, goes up, and he's fouled. Are they going to say on the floor or on the shot? That's key, and it's on the shot. It looked like he was going up, Brian, and smacked across the wrist. It's going to be on Max Rice, his second.
I think they got him shooting on the here's the replay.
Right here, yeah, he's going up. Yep. He did a good job of trying to go up, and Ducell was trying to sell it behind him, saying he was shooting. So
here's kind of going back to Coach Leonard's philosophy, and I know so many people talk about how great of an offensive coach he is, which he is, and executing, but he also knows, he said this many times, also know who my best players are, and every year we're going to adjust our offense and how we play around our best players. Well, now the way that they draw fouls, they're at 5 team fouls on Boise with almost 13 minutes, 12:41 left. So they're 2 fouls away from the bonus, which makes every single touch foul now put you on the line. So really puts a lot of pressure on Boise to be able to defend without fouling.
And that's 4 straight at the line for EK, and the Cowboys on an 11-2 run and taking a 4-point lead.
And this building's starting to get rocking.
Acott driving on Ducell, kicks out Smith, open corner 3, too strong, but Armish there for the rebound, and he's going to be grabbed and fouled by Reynolds, who just checked in. Reynolds giving Maldonado a break. You don't see that often. Think about this. Maldonado, Jeffries, EK, 3 of the highest minutes per game played guys in the conference right now.
Well, here's one of those coaching tricks at home. 12:25 on the clock. At 12 minutes, there's a media. So they're going to get Maldo out for probably about actual game time, less than a minute. But because of the media, he'll end up getting an extended break to get him some extra legs to finish his game.
Armish battling for the rebound, going to be tied up underneath, and a jump ball, but it will stay with the Broncos. Leon Rice wanted a foul. That was a good job by Armish of trying to find a way to battle for that rebound, and he got it amongst 3 Cowboys.
Yeah, championship level 50-50 plays. You see both guys battling from it, showing the toughness and physicality. But Xavier Ducell, although he's not back offensively fully to what he's capable of yet from the injury, he shows what his value is right there, making a gritty, tough play, getting that jump ball.
That ball, they were trying to bounce it down. It looked like to Smith posting up, and it went off a Cowboy defender, they say. So it'll stay with the Broncos, 15 in the shot. Armish in the corner, out high, almost knocked away. Oden. Here's Kuzmanovic trying to steal some minutes on the bench for Shaver. Here's Acott driving, pull up from 12. And we're going to get a hold foul on Ducell. And Ducell picks up his 3rd personal foul. That's his 2nd in a row. Correct myself. That is his 2nd personal foul. Here's the inbound Armish. Armish, Kuzmanovic. Swipe that by Jeffries. Rice. Dribble drive on Reynolds. Almost lost it. Smith, open corner 3. No good. He had a couple of those in Boise, but he hasn't been able to connect tonight. And Jeffries clears the glass.
Little different on the road when you see all this yellow and brown in the stands. Little different being able to make those shots. They've given him, really let him have 3 threes in a row. Started with the air ball.
Ducell, open 3 in the cross court. Air balls it right to Armish. He had the look. I think he just rushed it a little too much. Acott in transition. Finds Max Rice. Deep 3 off the rim. Jeffries will corral it and cross court it to Reynolds. He'll slow it down. Linder even putting up the stop sign far side of the court.
So I would imagine right here they're going to go inside to the big fella. That's usually what happens every couple possessions.
Well, they're trying to get the 4th on Armish is Reynolds. Kicks out. Oden driving baseline to the rim. Flip it up.
Great take, J.O. And he waves his hands to the crowd saying, get behind us. We need you. Great finish, great athletic play. Gets the hoop into harm.
The Cowboys on a 13-2 run in just under the last 5 minutes. And with 11 minutes to go, it's Wyoming 46, Boise State.
Wyoming basketball on the Mountain West Network is presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Wyoming, Rocky Mountain Ford Dealers, Ridley's Family Markets, Uniwyo Credit Union, and Union Wireless.
6-point lead for the Cowboys back here in the AA. They're on a 13-2 run, but maybe more importantly, over 4 minutes, the Broncos have gone without a point here, Brian, and it's shown. They had a 38-33 lead. Now all of a sudden down by 6.
Yeah, not only that, but also now with that and one, that puts Wyoming in the bonus. So for the next 11 minutes, any touch foul by the Broncos puts Wyoming on the line. Wyoming, by Mountain West standings, is the best offensive team in this league, whereas Boise kind of sits more middle of the pack. So when they're able to get the separation offensively, they're also a good defensive team. So be on the lookout for a run to continue here for the Pokes.
Trying to dig in defensively. Boise State trying to find the offense. Acott. Off a little handoff. Back to Rice off the screen. Can't get the 3 away. Now to Kejab. Wants to attack Maldonado, who's back in after the timeout. You called it, Brian.
Oh, he's got some extra rest, too. He probably got about 8 minutes of real rest time.
Acott trying to go at. Cross courts it. Smith sets. Or no, that's Kejab. Missed it. And Jeffries up high for the weak side board. Kejab had a great look, and he kind of set himself 1 extra little half second and just a little strong.
Yeah, one thing you just got to give Jeffries credit. I mean, he hasn't really scored today, but he's defended and he has had some huge rebounds in this contest.
Maldo for 3, that's too strong, and all Broncos underneath is Degenhart. Back in there with the 3 fouls, both Degenhart and Armish with 3 fouls for Boise State. Nobody in real foul difficulty for Wyoming. Key jab to Acott. Haven't called Acott's name a lot. He'll penetrate there, and that is going to be a foul on Jeffries. And Coach Linder across the way saw what I did from our angle,
yeah,
Brian. That was
like
a nice little push-off by Acott, and I think they just called Jeffries on the bump right before the push-off.
One thing about Coach Rice's program here, and you can see the replay, he drives
that
and
reach in right there, yep. I think it's when he started the drive, kind of the quick reach right there, and that's what gets Jeffries the foul.
One thing about Coach Rice's program, player development has been such a big thing. They've had so many guys recently get drafted in the NBA. Acott may not quite be on the NBA radar, but he was a forward.
Rice buries the 3 and gets him off the schneid. First field goal in over 5 minutes, Brian.
Yeah, the transfer from Arizona, Acott, going back to that, he was a forward at Arizona. Now he's been transferred to a point guard. Not very often you see that kind of transformation. Again, give credit to Coach Rice and his staff for their development, player development there.
Oden to Ike as they try and get Armish with his 4th. Out of the double team, jumps across court to Maldo. Pump faking, puts on the floor, bounce pass. That's a turnover, and that's been a little issue for Maldo. He admitted it after the CSU win the other night. Degenhart wide open, step back, 2 in a row. Too strong, and it pops out to Wenzel. Cowboys a little lucky on that one.
Able to dodge a bullet, wide open look from the Broncos' best shooter. Great laser pass.
And it's short on the 3. Wenzel can't get there as Rice picks up the loose ball rebound to Acott up the bottom of your screen. Shovels back to Rice. He'll catch and go on the baseline. Flips it up, no. And tipping him to himself as Ike and Armish on his arm picks up a huge 4th foul for the big guy.
And a good call. I mean, again, rebound is such a huge key in this game, and big fella able to secure with 2-hand rebounds. One thing that makes Ike so good and this team so good at rebounding, you see him grab the rebound with 2 hands. Right there, squeeze it, able to get that contact, and now every single touch foul, 1-and-1, putting the pokes on the line.
Wyoming still 2 fouls away. They still have 2 fouls to give, rather. So Ike, 6 of 8 at the line, game high 22. Cowboys with 3 in double figures, only 1 Bronco. That's key jab with 16 in doubles right now as Ike. He's got his rhythm at the line. He's hit his last 4. Make it 5 on that one.
Yep, and you can see again why he's #1 in the country in fouls drawn. He is so much high in usage, so physical, so skilled. Just a rare combination of a lot of different gifts with the big fella who's just in his 2nd year of playing, not even a full year yet of playing college basketball. Impressive to see. Coach Linder said he's seen it when he was at Northern Colorado when he started recruiting him, and he just knew he was going to be special. And he's proven that he is special here tonight.
He's got a wry smile on his face. Well, I shouldn't say wry. That's just a big smile for Graham.
Oh, what a competitor. Coach Linder talked about it too. There's one thing playing emotional and playing with emotion. He loves the emotion he plays with and the fire and passion that the big fella plays with.
Shaver back in, picked up by Jeffries. We knew we'd see this matchup and trying to fight through a screen. Maldonado gets called for the foul off the ball, pushing through Milner. They're trying to get to Rice because he's got the hot hand here.
Not only that, but this is where Coach Rice and his staff are probably staying on the referees like, hey, the foul count is this different, right? There's just much differential. It's 7-2 or 7. Now it's 7-5, but they're calling some of these little chippy ones to kind of get that even count a little closer sometimes. I'm not saying that for sure, but referees have a tendency to do that, and coaches have a tendency to get on referees about those little things.
Rice on the handoff, can't get the shot away. Back to Degenhart. Now to Shaver, fumbles it, but keeps possession. Tries to go off a high screen, does. They switch. Now we'll go against Oden, kicks to Rice. Rice will penetrate, fade away at the shot clock buzzer. It rattles in, was halfway down, and then Degenhart scoops up the rebound as Jeffries couldn't quite box him out.
That's the 2nd time Rice has had one of those just barely come out. And again, the rebounding is such a huge key for both teams. Those offensive rebound second possessions are really keeping the Broncos in this game.
Ike grabbed by Milner, now backs him down, spins. Little left hand good on the right baseline from 6. And he's up to 26.
That's one of the hardest shots in basketball. That little 4-foot floater, touch shot that he just consistently makes over and time again.
Here's Wenzel with a hold, and now you're going to have each team the bonus the rest of the way as we head to a timeout. The Cowboys have a 6-point lead in this rematch here in Laramie. We're back. Cowboys up by 6, and it's time for our play of the game presented by Wild Lotto. And Brian, this one really ignited the Cowboys here in the second half.
Yeah, they were struggling a little bit to get started. Wyoming came out a little stronger, but this play really ignited with the end one. It's still in the passing lane, tight ropes the sideline, able to get the hoop with the arm and connect on the free throw with a little shimmy as he's on the floor about to get up. Maldonado made all the little plays. He hasn't necessarily had 30-plus points tonight. He's let his big man do that tonight, but he's done all the little things. And again, Coach Leonard's talked about it's all about winning plays with his team.
Still has 11 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 assists. Bridget, what do you got for us?
In the huddle, Jeff Linder told his group, guys, we cannot keep giving away possessions. In the last time out against Boise, they had 14 empty possessions, and that's what Jeff Linder told me earlier this week, and that was a big emphasis to his group in practice. And Graham Ike during that said, we need to dig deep, fellas. Come on, let's grind this one out.
A 3 out of the timeout by Degenhart gets Boise State right back in it. You knew they weren't going to go away. They're just too good of a basketball team. We do get a foul and a little penetration there by Ducell, and this one's going to go on Shaver, his second. And again, both teams of the line the rest of the way here, and this is going to be key. Broncos have shot the ball well at the free throw line, just 60 to 61% on the season, but they're 4 or 5 tonight. Cowboys 10 of 12 right now after going 2 of 4 early, and Ducell will knock one down. Ducell hit a couple of clutch free throws the other night in the overtime game.
Yeah, talk about an overtime game. That game was a high-scoring game. This game more of a low-scoring game. That's the beauty of the Mountain West and the contrast of styles.
Ridley's Family Market, save time, shop online, now offering home delivery, the official grocery store of Wyoming Athletics. Ridley's Family Markets.
Crowd starting to get a little excited again, hoping for a defensive stop. 53-48. Pokes leading the way.
Key jab off the high screen from Milner. Attacks. Maldo doesn't draw the charge. We're going to get a blocking foul. I think that's right. He sold it, but he kind of bumped into Key-Jab. That was a good job by Key-Jab of maintaining his body composure, because I think he's under control here. Maldo tries to take it, and I didn't see any sort of major contact into the body.
Yeah, it's tough. It just wasn't quite as close. Those calls are always close, and he sold it well, but referee thought it was a block, and now Key-Jab's at the line. Again, he's been the key player. 18 points up in Boise. Tonight, he's at 16, 5 rebounds, 2 assists.
Boise State 6 of 21 from 3. But they've knocked down 4 here in this half to keep them in the game. Key-Jab front end is good. He'll get the bonus. And they're now 5 of 6 at the line. I don't know what it is about shooting free throws against Wyoming, but apparently the Broncos can get it done.
They're definitely getting it done tonight. Got it done in Boise, getting it done again tonight. Key-Jab leading the way.
Second one too strong. Sorry,
that's
Bronco
the broadcaster
fans.
jinx right there.
That's the announcer's jinx. Sorry, Bronco fans. That was not on purpose.
That's the Beyonce sorry, not sorry.
No, I think you got the wrong singer. Isn't that, oh goodness, the former Disney star. Sorry, not sorry. I can't think of her name right now. I have daughters that, you know, Demi Lovato.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
I think it can be both.
It could be both. I think you're right.
I think it's a trendy thing to say now. Speaking of trendy, back to the line is Ike. He's got 26 points. He's been in the line 10 times. He's 8 of 10 at the line. Now for the rest of the way, the Pokes will be in the double bonus from the next foul on.
Well, Armish already on the bench with 4. See how long Coach Rice waits there. Milner's out. As they go a little bit smaller, and Ike misses. Jeffries can't get the rebound away. So going more with a 5-guard lineup here is Coach Rice. And now the question is, who matches up with Ike? But then you go to the other side of the floor. Who does Ike match up with? He's going to get the freshman Degenhart.
Well, one thing Linder talked about in the San Jose game, Ike didn't play, and he's talked about how elite of a defender he is. especially in ball screen coverage, no matter what it is.
Dagenhart shoots the three right over EK, but comes up just a touch short.
Nice strategy by Coach Rice, though. I mean, got a good look from his best shooter and just a little bit short.
Dagenhart 3 of 6 from downtown tonight. Key-Jab 1 of 6, Smith 0 of 4, but Rice, somehow Maldo digs it out to EK. He'll go one-on-one against Dagenhart. Feels the contact, spins, shoots over him. Too strong to the right. Rice all alone for the rebound. Pushes into the forecourt, trying to get a little transition bucket. Acott trying to go by Maldonado, and there's hands on the body, and that's the third on Maldonado, and that's going to put Acott at the line. The Boo Birds out here, but that's just an accurate call. Now, I think what Linder's saying is, see, watch him put his hands right on his midsection right there.
Yeah, I mean, again, former coach, you got to let, at this high level of a game, you got to let him play. If you're going to call those little tic-tac fouls, Coach Linder and his staff is going to say, our big fella gets hit every time. Maldonado gets hit every time, too. So if we're going to call it that way, we're going to be shooting free throws the rest of the game.
Acott spins out, so they've missed a couple here lately. Maldonado across the timeline, and Wyoming is going to call timeout. Leading by 4. 6:17 to play in this one. It's been a battle so far. And we expect a great finish here at the Arena Auditorium in Laramie on the Mountain West Network. Back here in Laramie, the Cowboys up by 4, and they have had a propensity to win close games. First, it was Washington in overtime. Cowboys got it done, and then went on the road.
Utah State on the road after the COVID pause, another finish.
Here's Maldonado, the game winner last Friday at Air Force, and then we go to Monday night.
Monday night, this time Maldonado, instead of finishing it, oh, we got the kick out. Jeffries from 3, way downtown. The leading three-point makes per game in the Mountain West. Jeffries showing why they're in the clutch. They've just found a way to win games. It's been different guys stepping up in different ways, and that's one of the reasons why Wyoming is sitting right there at the top of the Mountain West.
And you just look around college basketball. Good teams find ways to win close games, Brian.
Yes, they do. One way or the other, they find a way. This one is a close one. Last time this was a close one, the Broncos won. Let's see who's able to separate and get the win tonight. Another foul.
That's the 4th on Dagenhart. And the grab on EK. If he would have just let him catch it, I don't think he'd get a foul, but he tried to reach in right there after the catch.
Well, the problem is you let him catch it, though, is he's so deep in the paint, he's probably going to score it. So that's what makes EK such a difficult matchup. Again, 2 of the players here on Wyoming's team, not only in the Mountain West, but nationally, Graham EK and Hunter Maldonado are such threats on the offensive end. 2 of the best players, not only in this league, but in the country, and you can see why here tonight, against one of the best defenses in the country.
EK's missed his last 2 at the stripe, and finally gets that one to go. So, Cowboys up by 5. Just over 6 to play in this one. Broncos are not going to go away. Acott to Key-Jab. Finds Shaver. Shaver down the lane to the bucket, flip it up and in. Oh, what a move, Marcus Shaver.
Great take. He's been really quiet, and I know we've talked about him many times before, but he is the guy on this team that's made clutch shots.
And there's a throwaway right in front of us as Maldonado's bounce pass right through the hand of Oden. I think that's a half a turnover on each guy. Poor pass, bad catch when you're kind of looking up and not looking the ball into your hands.
Yep, and only the 6th turnover, but Coach Linder, the one thing he hates is those unforced turnovers. He's really big on that with his staff, and his team has done such a great job. That one just a kind of one of those that just happens.
Rice cut off, up the wing to Key-Jab, trying to drive on Oden, looking to get to a spot, does. Double team, spins away, up and under, got Oden in the fair on the air, on the pump fake, and finishes at the rim.
Just an old school game. Just find his way to fake, step through. Really, really skilled by Key-Jab.
Maldo bounces through into the forecourt to EK, back to Maldonado. Tell you, the Broncos are not going to go away, and just like that, it's back to a 1-point game.
And if you remember last time Key-Jab, we showed it in the Star Watch, he willed them with the last 7 points up in Boise, along with the charge that sealed the game.
EK too strong with the left hand. Got to his spot, just threw it up. He was looking for a foul, but Dagenhart kind of laid off. Broncos with a chance to take the lead, and Shaver blows by everybody and does give it to him.
So this is the part of that matchup. So you talked about it early. Who is Graham EK going to guard? Well, he's guarding the shooter. They've stretched him out, so he doesn't get to protect the rim anymore. You've seen the last 2 times Shaver's been able to get a drive to the basket because EK stretched away guarding Dagenhart.
Shaver had only 2 points at halftime. He's got 6 here in the second half. Maldo, the drive, the reverse finish, and a foul. And Degenhart just fouled out.
Huge, huge play. Maldonado with the drive, finished on the reverse layup, picks up the foul on the freshman of the year. Freshman of the week, excuse me, from last week.
That is a tough call on Degenhart. I didn't see a lot of contact. He kept it high. The only thing you can think of is maybe a little bump with the chest, but that is a tough. I mean, I can honestly understand Leon Rice being upset on this one, Brian, because there was not a lot of contact there.
No, and I think if you're Degenhart, I think you're trying not to foul. I think he's trying to wall up, trying not to foul, and he wants to stay in the game so he can give his team a chance to win. Referee saw it differently, unfortunately, for the Broncos.
Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers is proud to sponsor the Freddy's Free Throw Freeze. If an opposing player misses 2 consecutive free throws after the 8-minute mark here in the second half, head to Freddy's Laramie location anytime tomorrow for a free single topping sundae. Freddy's, the taste that brings you back.
Now Armis comes into the game. Now he's going to be probably guard matched up with EK. He has 4 fouls, so foul trouble for the Broncos.
Maldonado converts the 3-point play. Just like that, Cowboys back in front by 2. 65-62 was the score 9 days ago.
The bench urging for the crowd to get on their feet, and they do.
And a foul on Oden holding Kejab on the drive. And now Linder's upset, and he says, hey, I want the same call down here.
Well, we talked about it. These teams are so physical. Now we're in the bonus. This is the kind of game we're going to see for the next 4 minutes both ways. And the referee's going to have to hear about it on every possession.
Well, we think back to it was a 2-point Wyoming lead 9 days ago in Idaho. Kejab hits the hook. And then the last 5 points that they scored,
free throws.
Yeah, by Kejab, who was 5 of 6 at the line, and then he drew that charge on Maldonado with 46 seconds left. He's at the line, trying to even this game. He hits the first. He'll get a chance to do it on the next one. Kejab tonight gets himself to 3 of 4 at the foul line. He's been the good guy at the line. Degenhart was 2 of 2, but he's fouled out now. Fouls out with 13 points, 5 rebounds and an assist for the freshman. And Kejab ties us. So he's now 4 of 5 at the line. EK to Oden. And they've been bothered by this little 3/4 court pressure. Maldo to Oden. Oden holds it, crosses to Dussel, back to Maldonado into the forecourt. Armish back in there. They get it to EK, picked up by Acott this time. EK backs him down, looks, sees the double team coming. Jeffries fakes a 3, steps to his right, fires, and buries it.
Ooh, that's the one they've been waiting on. He's been silent all night, but he's always got it ready in the chamber. And that time he let it fly and knocks it down with the late contest.
First 3 of the night for Jeffries. He'd been 0 for 3 prior to that. Kejab to Shaver, knocked away by Jeffries. Shaver's come to life. He's their clutch guy. Shaver hesitates, back to Acott. Gets a screen. Trying to work on Dussel and back him down. Body to body, goes to the middle, fakes, spins away, knocked away by Maldonado, and taken away by the Cowboys. EK just got his hand in there to knock it free.
Yes, he did. The crowd loved it on their feet. Let's see what they look to execute. I would imagine looking for another isolation for either Maldonado or EK.
Here's the EK dump down, spins baseline, flip it up and in. Cowboys by 5. 3 minutes left in this contest. Acott will take the timeout. Coach Rice. Wyoming fans rise to their feet and make some noise as the Pokes are up by 5. Just a tick under 3 minutes left in this one. And the 3-pointer. Jeffries had the dagger Monday, and he does it in right here. Just a dribble to his right. Armish in his face. Buckets. We're back on the Mountain West Network. 3 minutes to go in this one. Perkins Restaurant is proud to sponsor the Cowboy basketball 3-point tracker. If the Cowboys make 8 or more 3-pointers in tonight's game, visit any Wyoming Perkins tonight or tomorrow for a free slice of pie with any purchase. Perkins, flavors you crave, classics you love. And speaking of threes, nothing bigger than Drake Jeffries. We just talked about it coming out.
Yeah, huge 3. They came with a late double on EK, on the big fella EK. Jeffries able to sidestep. They got to contest, but good defense, but better offense by Jeffries.
And speaking of some things working in favor of the Cowboys, kind of that extra element. Jeremiah Oden has double figures right now here.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. We talked about it earlier. When J.O. scores 10 points or more, the Pokes are 8-0. And so far, he's got 11. Could be a good sign for the Pokes as they finish this last 3 minutes. Now, out of a timeout, I would imagine that they're going to try to get something with Key-Jab again on a post-up, trying to draw a foul.
Oh, I was going to say maybe Shaver driving to the bucket. Shaver gets a screen from Key-Jab. Pocket pass to Key-Jab, tripped by Moldo.
There we go.
Free throws for Key-Jab, and a huge fourth foul on Maldonado for the Cowboys.
I think what Coach Rice, again, these coaches are so good at what they do. He moves him. Instead of having him on the ball, he's got Shaver with it to kind of be a little bit of a distraction. Gets him rolling to the basket. Wyoming rotates late, picks up the trip, and Key-Jab is the matchup, I think, for this particular game. He obviously did it in Boise. He's doing it again tonight with 21. He's the go-to guy in this matchup because of the physicality. Shaver a little different of a player, but always got to keep an eye on Shaver because late in games, he's been Mr. Clutch with up to 3 shots that he's made in the last 2 weeks that have been daggers.
Yeah, he had the tying 3 last Friday in their last game at Fresno State to force overtime, and then they ended up winning it. Key-Jab gets the first free throw. He's got 22 to lead the Broncos. 5 of 6 at the line. Make it 6 of 7. Quick inbound. They trap Maldonado in the backcourt, and it's knocked out of his hands by Acott. Boise State bench thought it was theirs, and the referee says, nope, it was knocked out of his hands by that young man right there.
Yeah, this pressure has been good by Boise State. A little change of pace as well.
So Oden will inbound in backcourt. Key-Jab guarding the ball here, trying to get it into Maldonado. This time they don't double him. Looking for a screen to free up. He gets in the forecourt. Right in front of us, bottom of your screen. Spins to the jump circle. Goes in front of the Cowboy bench. Hands off to Jeffries. Shaver right on him. Trying to get that 2-man game. Jeffries will drive baseline. Kicks back to Ike. Jeffries will kick through. Ike backs down Armish. Spins to the middle. Put it up, and it rolls out. And Armish is done.
The double-A was about to erupt on that one. They wanted that one to go in so bad, but again, able to draw the fouls. Just going back to what Linder's words were, Derrick Henry. He mentioned that, and you can see it's so physical.
So
they got the reach in on Acott. Yeah.
All right. So Rice says Rice was going to put Kuzmanovic back in, I think taking out Armish, but Armish is still in there with only 4 fouls. The Wyoming bench thought Armish was out. That's actually an accurate call. So Acott picks up his second on the reach from behind.
Yep.
Going up for the shot.
Well, the thing is, even with Armish in, though, he's defending Ike. He doesn't want a foul. So they're going to continue to go to Ike and hope that they can draw fouls and be able to convert. And then Coach Rice brings in another shooter for Armish.
So now the question comes to the other end. Who does Ike guard, and does that pull the big guy away from the hoop?
I would imagine he guards Acott. That's the best matchup for him.
Yeah, because Acott's not a perimeter guy.
Definitely not a shooter. He wants to score in the paint.
And that one's 0 for 2 trip. Ike spun him out. He started 2 for 4, then rolled through, but now he's missed, what, 4 of his last 5, I believe. Shaver off a high screen by Key-Jab. Hesitates, blows by, and missed it, but he's fouled from behind on the block shot attempt. He hit the deck hard, slow to get up. Shaver looks okay, but Ike got blown by and then tried to get the block from behind right here,
some serious offensive execution. They pick up a late foul, kind of similar to Dagenhart's foul that he picked up on the Maldonado end one. I'm not sure how much contact there was, but the play that caused that was the ball screen last time with Key-Jab and Shaver. Last time they hit Key-Jab on the roll. This time he kept it. Great offensive decision-making by the Broncos down the stretch. Again, you can see why both these teams, you can see why Boise State's won 14 in a row and they're leading the Mountain West, and you can see why Wyoming, they both should be able to play in the tournament. I will continue to say that. I know we saw Joe Lenardi's bracketology. They've had 4 teams in. I really hope that these games that people are getting a chance to see in the Mountain West, they understand how good of basketball is being played and that we need more teams in the tournament from this league.
Well, it's funny, the Cowboys weren't in. They were the last one in. That's a 12 seed. As Maldonado gets it across the timeline, hounded, and they'll get it to Ike, running things through him. He's just going to take Armish one-on-one. Backs him down, double team comes, skip pass gets to Ducell, now to Maldonado. Bounce it down low to EK, turns, spins baseline.
What a pass. What a pass, and I mean, the trust between those two guys. Maldonado didn't care about taking the shot of the drive. He wanted to make sure the big fellow who has a hot hand gets fed, and it leads to a timeout from the Broncos. What a game we got going on.
4-point Wyoming lead, 1:40 to play in this one at the AA, and it is just a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. Yeah, diagonal pass from the top, and then EK was looking for the body contact, was able to finish, kind of fading away on that right baseline, up and over Armish. That's a long guy to finish on, 6'10" with long arms.
And he's kind of waving his hand like, that's an and one, ref. You know that. You know that's a foul, but I'll make it anyway. I'm good enough.
31-9 tonight for EK, and Kejab's been just as good at the other end. 23 points, 5 boards, 2 assists for Kejab, and that's despite he's 1 of 6 from 3, but it hasn't been Maldonado so much. He's got the all-around game, 14, 3, 7 assists, which leads everybody on the court tonight. But 23 for Kejab. He has been the star for the Broncos. And we talked about this earlier. He was a thorn in the side of the Cowboys in their 2 wins here last year. They played in kind of early to mid-January in the 2-game series where there was a day in between, and Kejab just dominated Wyoming in the 2 Boise State blowout wins last year. And then obviously 9 days ago, and they're going to him right here. 2-man game. Now he'll take and try and drive on EK with his quickness, spins away, powers it up, and can't get it to go, but he got fouled as EK came down for the block.
And I actually love that defensive assignment for Graham EK. He loves to kind of challenge. Those guys are both competitors. He just got caught in the air, a little bit anxious, but that's where Kejab doesn't get enough credit. So skilled, so aware, so savvy, man. He's got a great offensive package to his game. He's shown the whole thing. He's made a 3. He's scored in the paint. He's had up and unders, fadeaways. He's doing it all for the Broncos.
Trying to stay in step at the free throw line, and he does. Kejab 7 of 8 at the stripe tonight. A game high 24 now for the Broncos. One of 2 Boise State players in double figures. They sub Armish back in. He was out on the offensive possession as Kejab spins that one out. Jeffries with the rebound. Finds Maldonado, and he'll take Kejab into the forecourt. Double team him to EK quickly. Wants to hand off to somebody. No, he's just going to take Armish out high. 25 feet from the bucket. Armish trying to reach on and swat that ball. Spins away from the double team, goes baseline, powers it up, reverse it in.
Ooh, dear mama, there goes that man. 33 for the big fella, showing the handle, the step through, a little bit of the Akeem Olajuwon going to the other side of the rim. Coach Leonard's waving his hands. What a ball game we have here tonight.
Aycott hesitates. Now to Kejab, one-on-one against Oden. Crosses him up, another crossover to his spot, and a blocking foul. Oh, they're going to call the reach around. And Kejab going back to the free throw line. Watch this spin.
The handle, the spin, the step through, then the mean mug on the way back.
And let's check this foul. Watch the grab. Not here, right there. That's what they're calling.
I mean, I don't know if there's a grab. That looks like a touch, but at the same time, I give Kejab credit. Coach Rice talked about this ability of this team. They're older. He's got a lot of transfers. He's got some guys that's been through the wars, that's been through the grind, and they're unfazed being in the middle of the grind. That's part of what's made this team be able to win 14 in a row. They've won a lot of different ways and a lot of different styles, and they're not afraid to continue to fight and chip away. They're not going to go away. You're going to have to beat this team.
Kejab shoots 63.5% of the line. He's 8 of 10 tonight, making 9 of 11. Calm, cool, collected. And now Jeff Linder wants a timeout to talk things over. His team's up by 3 with 51 seconds to play here at the Arena Auditorium in Laramie. 66-63. Cowboys getting close to 70 here, Brian, and that is a magical number for the Pokes. It's not so great for Boise State if teams get above 70.
Yeah, I mean, you just see the stats right there. Both these teams, 70 is kind of that magic number. Both really good defensive teams. Wyoming, a little more offensive firepower They are the leading team in the conference in scoring. This last stretch out of the timeouts are going to be huge. Free throws are obviously going to be huge. They're going to continue to go to Graham Ike. Well, how does Boise guard them? Are they going to double them? Are they going to leave them?
Well, here's what's interesting. Armish subbed out in between the two free throws, and they brought Najee Smith going a little smaller.
Yep.
Maybe try a quicker guy and a quicker double team to have that quick guy on a defensive rotation and make somebody else beat them, I'm guessing, is what they're going to try and play defensively here, Brian. But, again, top two teams in the conference. You got one team that hasn't lost in over 2 calendar months. You got to go back to November 30th, the last time Boise State tasted defeat. That was against the Billikens of St. Louis. The Cowboys' only loss in 8 of their last 9 games was at Boise State 9 days ago. So we've had a terrific matchup tonight here at the Arena Auditorium. 51.4 seconds left, and we hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it, Brian. This has been a great game.
No doubt about it. I don't want it to go to overtime necessarily for the teams, but selfishly, I wouldn't be mad at it.
Well, I wouldn't mind another 5 minutes of free basketball.
Coach Linder and Coach Rice not happy if they hear this, but
full court pressure. Jeffries almost went long. They get into Ike. Fakes, bounce pass back to Jeffries. Jeffries will take it up the near side. They're going to run and double him across the timeline, and he gets tackled down from behind as he went to a crossover dribble, and they're going to call key jab, and that'll be Key Jab's first personal foul of the game.
I love the strategy. I love the strategy to make Jeffries bring it up. Not a great ball handler, but at the last minute, he tried to steal and get one, and Coach Rice not happy about that foul because you're fouling one of the best shooters in the Mountain West in Jeffries.
Drake Jeffries, excuse me.
The JUCO product, Indian Hills. He is representing.
He is the clutch guy. You mentioned it. Jeffries at 77% from a percentage-wise among the regulars, the best guy. He was hovering over 80 for quite a bit of the season. He's had a few misses, and he'd be the first to admit that in some situations here in the last few weeks, but still the guy you want on the line.
He's definitely a guy. Anytime the ball's in his hands and he's shooting, you feel like it's going in.
2 for 2 there. 5-point game. 2 possessions. Aycott got to move quick here. Boise State.
Crowd on their feet. Standing room only.
1 timeout left for each team. Aycott to Rice. Rice off the screen. Hesitates. Drives on Ducell. Step through. Off the front of the rim. Didn't even draw iron. Maldonado gets grabbed in backcourt by Key Jab, and
huge stop right there.
Do it for Wyoming.
Huge stop right there. 30 seconds left. A lot of time, but another.
And the guy who didn't play in the first meeting coming through with a defensive play there, talking about Ducell, he didn't fall for the pump fake and the kind of up and under.
Yep. And
Max Rice got a good look, but fell a little bit short.
Yeah, Coach Linder talked about the luxury of having him back. He has another starter. I mean, Wenzel's emerged as a starter and has played really great basketball for Wyoming. But now you have Ducell, who's another starter. So essentially you have 6 starters here, and a huge defensive play there by Xavier Ducell.
And you got some praise from Coach Linder across the way saying, hey, good job not falling for that pump fake. First one spins out for Maldonado. He's 2 for 3 at the free throw line tonight. Second one got it, so it's a full 2-possession game. 26 seconds and change. Shaver, does he have a little magic for Boise State? Comes off a high screen. Stop and pop for 3. Too strong. Ike gobbles up the rebound. Ike dishes to Maldonado with 16, with 15, and they get it to Jeffries. And a foul was called, I believe, in backcourt. And the Wyoming crowd feeling it here with just under 14 ticks on the clock left.
Oh, yeah, they're feeling it. Just a little bit of time left on that clock. Surprised Boise didn't foul a little bit later. They got the shot they wanted. Shaver had a great look. They went under the ball, got caught on the ball screen. He was able to get a wide open look from 3, just not able to knock it down. And it may be running out. That 14-game winning streak may be at its end here tonight in Laramie.
Maldonado too strong with that one. 1 free throw here, I think, may be decided, because then it's a full 3-possession game if he can get this second one here. Maldonado only about 71% on the season. Got that one. There's your 3 possessions by 7. It's going to be tough. Aycott quickly on Maldonado. Crosses over to the rim. They'll let you go. 8 seconds to go. Trying to look for a quick inbound. They'll throw it to Ike. Ike to Odin. Odin going to be pushed right at midcourt with 4.7 to go. He was off to the races looking for a finishing dunk. which he got the other night against Colorado State to seal the Board of War win.
Yes, he did. I mean, Wyoming, with 4.5 seconds, 4.7 left, able to close this game. What a monster back-to-back game of this week. Beat a top 25 team on Monday. Then you come here and beat the conference leader in Boise State that had won 14 in a row. If you didn't think this Wyoming basketball program was for real, after this week, you have no choice.
Oden calmly sinks the first one. Saw him take that big, deep breath, closed his eyes, and was like, let me relax here and get in my stroke. Puts Wyoming up by 6. And they'll go to 9-0 when he scores 10 or more points, because Oden now has 13.
And undefeated at home if they're able to close out this last 4 seconds.
Key jab to Kuzmanovic, 3 at the buzzer, no good, and the Cowboys snap the Broncos' 14-game win streak as they rush the floor one more time for the second time this week at the AA. Coach Rice and Coach Linder exchanging pleasantries. And wow, what a performance by both teams. Wyoming simply outlasting Boise State.
Yeah, outlasting. I'll make the quick comment again. Both these teams deserve to be in the NCAA tournament. You have to love what Mountain West basketball is presenting. And Wyoming is proving they are a legitimate basketball team competing for a Mountain West championship tonight.
Well, you got Boise State and CSU receiving votes in the latest poll. I think after this week, you might add Wyoming to that mix, Brian.
Yeah, you have to add them. And what a performance by the big fella, EK. Last time it's Maldonado. Today it's EK. 33 points, 10 rebounds, a monster double-double. Went to the line 15 times. You think that guy causes some problems? Absolutely. Again, dear mama, there goes that man. He's the player of the game, Graham Ike.
Absolutely. Key Jab had 26, 5 rebounds, 2 assists to lead the Broncos tonight, but they shot just 39%, and Wyoming shoots almost 50% in this basketball game tonight as they get it done, 72-65. There you see Graham Ike after the teams exchange pleasantries. So the Broncos experienced their first loss in over 2 months. Got to go back to November 30th. The 14-game win streak, similar to 13 a couple years ago. And let's toss it over to Bridget Howard right now.
Guys, I'm here with Graham Ike. Graham, 33 points tonight for you. What was working for you?
You know, just my teammates were giving me the ball in the right spots, and I really appreciate that. The coaching staff just drew up some great plays, and, you know, I just can't be more grateful for this team and this coaching staff. Just the way that we put in days and put in time together, you know, it's just all coming together.
You get Boise State in foul trouble. Dagenhart fouls out. Armish in foul trouble as well. How key was that for your group in winning this one tonight?
It was very key, you know, because we got in the bonus a little early. I think at the 11-minute mark, I can't really remember. But things like that are huge when we're fouling out their starting 5-man and then their second 5-man, and then the third or their 4 who's playing the 5 in the third group. So it's really big, you know, when we pin fouls on guys. Got to hit more free throws, but that'll come along.
You told me earlier this week that this crowd here in the Arena Auditorium felt like it gave your team a 10-plus point advantage. How rockin' and how helpful was this crowd here tonight?
As you can see, as you see it yourself, it was electrifying, you know what I mean? It was just great to have these fans back. This atmosphere is just so amazing. I've never felt anything like this before. I just want to give a huge shout out to the fans for coming.
First place. How does that sound?
Sounds really good, you know. Got to get ready for Sunday by preparing tomorrow. Just got to keep getting better every day, that's all.
Well, congratulations, Graham. Go celebrate this one.
Thank you, Bridget. Take care.
All right, thank you very much. Go ahead, Bridget. We're going to toss it right back to you because you got Coach Linder.
We've got Coach Linder here. Coach, this group tonight was able to battle it out. You told me earlier this week you knew it was going to be a battle. What was key in coming out with the win?
Well, we knew at halftime it was a 0-0 game, and I mean, they're one of the toughest teams in the country, a reason why they've won 14 straight games. We knew we had to make more winning plays, and I thought down the stretch our guys just really rallied together and found ways to make those plays. And then what can you say about Graham Ike? I mean, just got the man. It's not hard coaching. Sometimes you can over-trick it. Just get the ball to him and get out of the way.
With the win tonight, you have now gone a full calendar year without losing at home here in the Arena Auditorium. How special are these fans, and how big of a third man were they here tonight?
Well, it's huge, and to have this type of support, it's what makes Wyoming a really special place. The reason why I'm here, and we just got to continue to keep it going. And it provides the 7,000 people here provided that energy for us to make those winning plays at the end of the game.
Graham told me earlier this week that this team is on one wavelength. Everyone is on the same page. What is it about this group that makes them able to come up big in these moments?
You know, when you got great kids who all sacrifice for the team, I mean, a lot of cliche stuff, but I mean, we got great kids that all, you know, they all know their roles, they accept their roles, and they show up every day to work. We don't take days off. I mean, a lot of teams in college basketball, they'll take days off. We don't take days off, and it shows when we get on the court.
Well, Coach, so much to celebrate here tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Bridget. And as you can tell, Brian, happy Graham Ike with that big smile. Happy Coach Linder, and the final stats kind of reflected tonight. Boise made more threes than Wyoming, but I thought maybe the difference, the free throw line.
Definitely was a free throw line. We talked about it in an early game plan, and I think Wyoming, the perception, because they shoot such a good three-point percentage, they want quality, but it's not so much about the quantity only. They are definitely a tough paint team with Maldonado and also with Graham Ike, but the rebounds, Coach Linder talked about, they were one of the few teams to out-rebound Boise. In Boise, they out-rebound them again by 2 tonight, and that's a huge difference in this game.
And just a battle of attrition. The Cowboys get it done tonight. All right, for my broadcast partner, Brian Burton, and for Bridget Howard, I'm David Settle, as the Cowboys find a way to get to first place in the conference. 3 Cowboys in double figures, led by Graham Ike's 33. Wyoming wins at the final score, 72, Boise State 65. For more live Wyoming athletics broadcasts, features, and information, visit GoWyo.com. The Cowboys over the Broncos, 72-65 tonight from the Arena Auditorium. And Wyoming in first place in the Mountain West in men's basketball. This has been an exclusive presentation of the Mountain West Network.